Welcome to Anthrodorphins, a series that relieves the pain and elevates the pleasure of studying anthropology. I'm Rob Lemelson, an anthropologist and filmmaker. Questions of gender identity and sexual self-expression have recently come to the forefront of the discourse in popular culture. But gender and sexuality have always been crucial in culture, and vice versa. Both have biological components, but cultures imbricate them into larger systems of meaning. So, while our genders or sexualities can feel natural, even instinctual, they have been significantly shaped by the cultures in which we've been raised, and have implications far beyond the bathroom or the bedroom. Part 1, Gender, will address cultural variations in gender performance, gender labor, gender fluidity, and gender beyond the binary. Part 2, Gender Fluidity, will address the ways different cultures allow for shifts in gender identity and how some are changing their own constructions of gender. Part 3, Sexuality, will explore sexual liberation, gendered sexual violence, and sexual subcultures. Gender and sexuality are hugely significant to our lives. Sex, of course, is crucial to the very survival of our species, but gender and sexuality is also relevant to many other aspects of society: politics, entertainment, economics, law, health, religion, geography, identity, kinship, and love. While intimately related, sex and gender are not the same. Their configuration can be understood in a cross-cultural perspective with some helpful concepts. Biological sex refers to the physical characteristics you are born with and develop. This can include things like chromosomes, hormones, genitalia, and body shape and function. Gender identity refers to how you define your own gender. This will be influenced by the gender categories available in your culture. Gender expression refers to how you enact or present your gender. This can be through actions, clothing, demeanor, and more. Sexual and romantic attraction refers to what genders you are sexually drawn to, if any, and who you are interested in having a relationship with. These different elements of sexual and gender identity can inform who you have sex with, how and why, based on social and cultural shaping of sexuality. Mainstream globalized understandings of sex and gender have undergone significant changes in the past 50 years and are still in flux. But there are a wide variety of diverse and long-standing cultural constructions of gender and sexuality that predate and exist outside, alongside, or in conversation with these cultural shifts.
Dr. James Makokis is not your average family physician. He's the only doctor working with transgender patients in Enoch First Nation, a Cree reserve of 2,400 people in central Alberta. Many of his patients drive up to 8 hours and walk miles along dirt roads to see this Two-Spirit Indigenous specialist who makes them feel safe.
Two-Spirit is a contemporary English term to reflect gender diversity that Indigenous nations have always had.
In our language, we say Nantla. So Nantla means like ambient being. So if you think about energetic forces inside a body, it's like these two forces that oscillate back and forth. So it's not just male, it's not just female, it's male, female, back and forth all the time.
For the past 3 years, Dr. Makokis has crafted his unique approach to transgender care by bringing together Indigenous and Western teachings. And his biggest contribution is his openness about his own identity.
James has helped me accept myself because he accepts himself. He made me feel comfortable in my own skin.
And how many weeks were you?
17.
So here's the baby's face right over here, and you can see the tummy. Oh, baby's active. Yeah. Got it. It's a baby boy.
It's a boy! Yay!
In most societies, the gender identity assigned to individuals at birth, usually based on observable biological sex, will also influence the tasks or duties expected of them over their life course. When gender determines particular roles or responsibilities, this is known as gendered labor. In some societies or cultures, this delineation is quite strict, in others more flexible. It has long been noted in Javanese ethnography that women are the ones who work in the market selling produce, cloth, and other goods. Women are also responsible for managing their earnings and their family's finances. But why? An earlier ethnography found it was because Javanese men were more concerned with spiritual matters and didn't want to sully or distract themselves with the mundane details of the day-to-day. Decades later, a feminist critique argued that it was actually because men couldn't be trusted with money. Vulnerable to their own desires, they were prone to spending it or even gambling it all away. Indeed, gender may determine expectations for behavior and self-presentation, ways of walking, talking, dressing, and action. This is known as gender performance. While aspects of gender performance may feel deeply internalized and automatic, they are learned based on cultural norms and specific to a cultural context.
Sikh is identified by the turban because to me this is the symbol of Sikhs. I have never thought of being without my hair and turban. In fact, I think I feel very odd.
Being a Sardar, you should be, very conscious about whatsoever you do. You can't be irresponsible anywhere because people expect a level of wisdom out of you. And when we are in a teenage, nobody is in that situation that he can handle that particular, level of wisdom.
Certain literal performances may also be required to achieve or prove status as a gendered adult, whether these are specific tasks performed publicly as part of a coming-of-age ceremonies or dating and mating rituals that put groups or individuals on display.
The Maasai are a Nilotic group of people who are predominantly pastoralists and reside around major game parks in the Great Rift Valley section of southern Kenya and northern Tanzania. They are renowned for their love for animals and for defending and adhering to their authentic cultural traditions, which include a strict age-set transition, beginning with the very young, and which is marked by elaborate ceremonies of which rituals are conducted to bestow on them new status, roles, and responsibilities for the community. Enkipata is the first ceremony performed for adolescent boys who are ready for circumcision when an age set for Morans or young warriors is formed by respected elders. Eunoto, or the shaving ceremony, is celebrated about 8 years after the first initiation and is regarded as the climax of Moranhood. It is a huge ceremony that lasts for more than 1 month. The climax of Eunoto is the shaving of the Morans' dreadlocks. All the Morans must have shaven within 4 days. Olngesher, popularly known as the meat-eating ceremony, is performed in one village for the whole age set. At this stage, the celebrants are now mature and expected to be married. At this stage, many community responsibilities are transferred to to the celebrants, as they are now regarded as full elders.
The understanding of gender systems is a human universal, and people can recognize and identify with different genders from an early age. Most cultures recognize a gender binary, meaning two genders of male and female. But genders beyond the binary, often known as third or fourth genders, can also be found in many societies around the world and throughout history. In some societies, those beyond the binary are afforded elevated status as healers, educators, spirit mediums, or performers. For example, on the island of Samoa, there are 4 recognized cultural genders: male, female, fa'afafine, and fa'atama. Fa'afafine and fa'atama move between male and female worlds, while fa'atama, born female but living as a male, may face social rejection. Fa'afafine often care for elders in the community, provide sex education, and serve the role of ceremonial hosts, wearing the whale-tooth necklace otherwise reserved only for chiefs.
I see myself as a woman who's stuck in a different body. Not round body, but it's a different body. Western societies try to fit us under a box. Like they try to put us under gay, put us under lesbian, trans, and all other, the queer and all the concepts. But I think Fa'afafine is our cultural identity.
In Mexico, Muxe preserve and showcase indigenous Zapotec traditions.
Somos más de 160,000 habitantes en Juchitán. Tú puedes tener una cuadra de una sección, porque en Juchitán se divide por 9 secciones, y en una cuadra debes de tener alrededor de 10 a 15 muxes viviendo. ¿Cuál sería la diferencia entre un homosexual y un muxe? Un chico gay de la Ciudad de México es atraído por otro hombre gay. Y en el caso de la comunidad muxe, no le atrae a otro muxe, le atrae a un hombre. Mi nombre es Amaranta Gómez Regalado, soy de Juchitán, Oaxaca, en la región del Istmo. Soy muxe y soy de esta cultura zapoteca que tiene una historia tradicional en donde no solamente se conservan las costumbres, sino también conservan su propia expresión de identidad, como es la identidad muxe a la cual pertenezco.
Uno de los más grandes errores que existe, y por eso tantos problemas en el mundo, es querer hacer a los demás como yo soy. Querer hacer a los demás como tú eres. Eso es un gran error. Dios nos hizo a su imagen y semejanza, y cada ser es único. No hay dos. Tiene que haber respeto por esa forma de vida. Tenemos nosotros una fiesta muy interesante, le llamamos vela. ¿Sí? Una vela que está acompañada por la regada y la Santa Misa que celebramos el día de hoy.
La posición de la Iglesia es respeto a la vida.
A pesar de la diferencia, a pesar de las dificultades, a pesar de la penetración de la modernidad, a pesar de la influencia de la derecha, a pesar de nuevas religiones, por cierto, hoy en día la dignidad muxe no se puede tocar.
While certainly relevant to the broader global queer experience, it should not be assumed that non-binary gender categories or identities are inherently similar to LGBTQI identities as they are currently understood in the United States. Rather, the cultural and social context in which they develop determine their configurations of gender and sexuality.
Conventions of gendered labor have changed dramatically over the past 50 years in many places around the world and continue to change. Do you think some expectations for gendered labor are more resistant to change than others? And if so, why? Gender is performed in everyday gestures and also literally performed in music, theater, and other forms of entertainment. Is there a certain performer who seems to epitomize your culture's ideal of male or female? What elements of this gender identity are highlighted?
Thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you'd like to learn more about anthropology's take on sex and gender, check out the resources below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and get your regular dose of anthrodorphins.